Another two names that were mentioned by Joseph Parker are Fabio Wardley and Justis Huni. It's live on DAZN this Saturday. What do you make of this fight, Spence?
I like this fight a lot. I think it's a tougher fight than the original opponent for Fabio Wardley, which was Gerard Miller. I think Gerald Miller, sorry. I think that's a much more difficult fight, Huni. He's got an extensive amateur career. He's coming into his own right now as well. You look at the win that he had over Kevin Lorena, that probably developed him, moulded him as a heavyweight. He was hurt badly in the second round, again in the 10th round, showed a lot of character to come through that. They're the sort of fights you need, you know, when you're at that stage of your career to kick you on. And I think that he's shown those improvements. This is a dangerous fight for him. It really is. Wardley, listen, I fancy Wardley to win the fight still, and he's the type of guy that looks forward to these sort of opponents that will come at him, stand in front of him.
I mean, a lot's made, isn't it, historically, of the background of amateur careers that Fabio Wardley doesn't have. You will have seen him in his most recent performance against Frazer Clarke, which was a compelling and convincing outcome. What did you make of Fabio in that fight and that knockout?
You know, the knockout was impressive. He can clearly punch. He's tough. But I don't know. I just think he's beat Frazer Clarke, he's beat Adelaide.
Yeah.
British title level fighters. I mean, Clarke beat me fair and square, so it is what it is. But that, for me, doesn't put you in the world title picture at all. I think Wardley's very good. I think he's dangerous. I think he's awkward because he hasn't got that amateur background. I love fighting boxers that are stand-up, basic 1-2, being taught by the book. It's great. You know what's coming. It's a jab followed by a right hand. With Wardley, you haven't got a clue what's coming. That's and he can punch with it. That's why he's so dangerous. But people talk about world titles for him. His best win is Frazer Clarke, whose best win is me. So I look at him, I think he's got a long way to go, and Huni was a very good amateur. But if Huni was going to the top, would he be boxing Wardley in a few weeks' notice? You wouldn't be throwing your best prospects in 5 weeks' notice with Wardley, would you? So there's questions for me on both of them. But the winner goes on to bigger and better things. The loser...
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, look, you're talking about the winner boxing Joseph Parker, and I think that...
Are they? Seriously?
No, I'm saying that's where you're sort of saying, that's what the talk is. The winner could be boxing someone like Joseph Parker. Well, that's a tough fight.
So with respect to the observation that you've just made, Dave, if and when I expect Fabio to win, I mean, the worst thing I can do is tip anybody, because every time I tip someone, they lose, right? On every sport, on everything. Right? But let's assume that my tips don't bugger up Fabio and he wins. Where would be the next fight for Fabio then? If you're saying, no, pack it in, he's not ready for world level, where would be the next fight opportunity after that for Fabio?
You know what, I like the Wardley story. I remember sparring Fabio 2018 when Dylan White was getting ready for a Chisora rematch. You know, nice fellow, well-spoken, doing amazing things, you know, with a white-collar background, giving a lot of people hope that they can turn pro from the white-collar background. I think with Fabio, I think he's so dangerous. Like, I think he can beat anybody. All I'm saying is on paper right now, the wins aren't there for world title level. What he's done is very impressive. Frazer Clarke, Olympic bronze medalist, very impressive win. Adelaide's a great win, but does that put you in world title picture? For me, it doesn't.
I think surely, though, a win for Wardley would, and then you talking about the fights like with Joseph Parker, you go, that's a sort of, I think that, but what I'm saying is that these titles are tied up right now, aren't they? And until we know what's going on with them, these guys are fighting each other, and we do want the best fighting the best. You go, Wardley, I don't think it's too early for Wardley to fight Joseph Parker, for sure. I think that's a great fight.
How much pressure do you think Fabio was... I mean, I spoke to Fabio earlier on. He seemed to be thriving in the opportunity. But these stadium fights, it's wonderful to get them in your hometown where something means something to you and you get to showcase yourself in football stadiums. But it must provide an extra level of pressure. I mean, we've seen it previously. I know that when Kell Brook fought Errol Spence, we're talking about world-level fighting. And ultimately, he could perhaps explain away the loss in front of his home crowd. And obviously, Tony Bellew won his world title at Goodison Park. But going into your own environment where you really are the big noise in terms of the expectation levels, how much pressure, Spence, will he be under, do you think?
Huge amount of pressure, but I think that's the sort of thing he thrives off. I think that Fabio Wardley is the guy that feeds off that sort of stuff, that pressure. But what he has to be careful of, though, is not allowing it to get to him, going out there, making a fundamental mistake and paying for it.
Trying to crowd, please.
Huni has that pedigree, and
Does he?
yeah, absolutely. He's come through that.
He's got a lot of amateur experience
yeah,
at a high
absolutely.
level, but I think this is professional boxing. I think Huni is not a. It's hard for me to say because I'm an active heavyweight boxer, and a lot of people say, "Well, Huni beat you," but from as a boxing fan and like someone that watches a lot of boxing, Justis Huni will not beat Fabio Wardley. He doesn't have the physicality to match Wardley. He may win the early rounds. He may control Wardley with his jab for a while, but I think Wardley will get to him. The physicality is too much. This is professional boxing. It's different.
I think that Wardley has the capabilities of taking him out very, very early because that's what that he's very explosive and heavy-handed.
Well, we had the two boys on my show earlier on. Let's have a little listen to what they had to say.
Tell Fabio what you're going to bring. Tell us all what you're going to bring on Saturday night.
Just box smart, I've done this for pretty much my whole life, and I've just got to go out there and show Fabio my experience in this game.
Fabio, what does he face when that first bell rings?
Energy and entertainment. I think energy from me, energy from the crowd, from the atmosphere of the stadium where we'll be fighting, and we know the energy that I bring to a fight and the type of entertainment I'm trying to display as well. So those are going to be a number of different areas he's going to have to compete with on the night. It's not just me he's fighting, it's going to be the crowd as well, the occasion, the moment. So yeah, we're going to have to see if all that boxing experience he has lives up to that.
Barry Hearn's son has said that Queensberry have made a mistake in taking this fight. How much of a chance do you give Justis Huni? I know we've talked around it a little bit, but realistically speaking,
he's got a chance for sure. It's heavyweight boxing, and he's got that. He's got that pedigree. That if Fabio makes a fundamental mistake, he will pay the price for it. But do I think he will? No. I think that Fabio Wardley, I think this homecoming for him and this and the occasion and the fact that he will feed off it, I think that all goes in his favour as opposed to against him. It's a tough night for Huni. Sure, it really is.
Is there anything some of the statistics that come out is that the nature of the fights that they've been in and the fact that Fabio's average fight is 3 rounds and Justis Huni's is 6.5 rounds. Is there anything in those statistics that are going to shape the way this fight goes?
I don't believe so, because it's all right looking at numbers. With boxing, like, statistics can lie sometimes because it depends on the opposition, We can see with our own eyes, Wardley's a much heavier puncher, much stronger, much more adventurous. He wants to finish fights. Huni's more of a boxer. So numbers with boxing sometimes, they can deceive you a little bit. Huni was a good amateur, he puts his shots together, he's a good boxer. I just think in professional heavyweight boxing, a lot of it's about physicality. I just don't think you can match up to Fabio.
Before we close the section, let's get the summation on Wardley Huni. Your view?
I think Fabio Wardley wins.
By what?
I think he wins by KO.
Dave?
Yeah, Wardley, big stoppage early.
Yeah, I agree.